Pandemic. Joining us this morning is Republican Congressman Adam Kinzinger. Good morning to you, sir.
Yeah, good morning.
All right, Congressman, so for those who say thank you for the $600, but it is not nearly enough, you would say what?
Yeah, look, I voted for the $2,000 because I think if you're going to give people direct money, if we decide that that's needed, $600 is almost not near as good, obviously, as $2,000. It's what's needed. But the bottom line is I think people need to look at the federal government doesn't replace a good economy. There is never going to be a perfect bill, and there's never going to be enough money because every dollar that we spend now, we're going to have to pay back. So I think there's a lot of great things from the payroll protection program. As you mentioned, the unemployment insurance, $600 is better than nothing. But, you know, the bottom line is I figured maybe it was time for the $2,000, but we're going to have to pay all this back someday. Something to keep in mind.
Well, definitely. And, you know, Americans are hurting. $600 basically buys you some groceries for a family of four and then maybe a utility bill. It really isn't a whole lot. And people were really hoping on that money. And I know on social media, Senator Mitch McConnell, he definitely got a lot of hate out there. But he also mentioned that he wanted to bring something up that would sort of bring three items into focus for the president later on this week. Do we know at all what he's proposing? Is there going to be possibly stimulus money in that?
Yeah, from what I had heard is it might be something regarding Section 230, which is, as you know, it's what the president vetoed the defense bill, which had nothing to do with defense over, which we overrode him, has to do with social media. So maybe that's going to be included. We don't have the details of it yet. But I do hope that, you know, again, if you're going to give people $600 where it's kind of like almost pointless to an extent, I think it needs to be something bigger, $1,200 or $2,000. And hopefully that's part of what the senator brings up and we can get something done, because if we're going to spend the money at this moment, we really need to have something that's going to work.
Well, Congressman, the frustration isn't just about those direct payments. There's also a lot of frustrated people when it comes to the vaccinations and the pace of them. Warp Speed had promised, or at least had a goal of getting 20 million Americans vaccinated by the end of this year. We're at under 3 million as of this morning. What's slowing down the process?
Yeah, it's logistics. It's, you know, state plans. I'm not sure all the details. It's something that, you know, again, we've made huge progress, but it's unacceptable because every day that goes by, you know, unfortunately, this congressman-elect from Louisiana, in my age, 42, died of COVID. We're losing people to COVID. So I'm also hearing, you know, that they're looking at making the 2-dose vaccine for Pfizer a 1-dose because you can still get 90% protection. But the bottom line is we need to have expectations that can be met. And if we had too high of expectations, we need to be honest with the American people. But I think we're going to be in a good position soon. And I'm really optimistic that the people that need it can get vaccinated pretty soon. And everybody will be vaccinated in a shorter period of time.
Okay, so 1 week from today, you and your colleagues, they are set to certify the Electoral College vote. Normally, nobody pays attention to that, but this time around, there are concerns that the Vice President, Mike Pence, could actually invalidate the votes in some of these swing states. What is the likelihood that you think that this might happen?
Zero. And, I mean, just think about our founding fathers. Do you think they would have set up a system where the vice president could choose the electors that he wants to see? I mean, that's like a recipe, because keep in mind, when that was created, there were no term limits for a president. So that was a recipe to have a president for life. I think the president, quite honestly, is being dishonest with the American people in this. He's trying to give hope to the people that really wanted him to win. He's taken their money, and they're going to be disappointed, and they'll find somebody but themselves to blame, they being the Trump administration. They'll find some other reason. They'll probably turn after Mike Pence and call him a rhino. And but this is not going anywhere, and it can't go anywhere.
Glad you mentioned rhino, Congressman. We're almost out of time, but I'll ask you for a short answer if possible. I saw a feature with you in the Tribune this week. You talked about frustration on your part, the direction of the party, where it's going, where you stand. Can you just voice and express some of those concerns real quick for our viewers?
Yeah, look, smaller government, strong national defense, and, you know, professional leadership. And we've turned into a party that's name-calling, angry, and we've changed our policies, you know. And so for me, a rhino, if I've been the same consistent person for 10 years, I'm a conservative, and that's where the party needs to go because we're losing young people, and that's a terminal problem in 10 or 20 years.
And all of this criticism, some think maybe you're going to run for higher office, maybe governor of Illinois. Anything you want to say here on Good Day Chicago?
Look, that's really not a desire of mine. I'm not going to rule anything out, but really not what I'm looking at. And I don't think my outspokenness would necessarily be the best for that anyway, but I just feel compelled that our party needs good leadership that's going to win again, and that's what I'm going to try to do.
Well, the days and weeks ahead are critical, and we appreciate your time with us. We hope to have you back early in 2021. Congressman, thank you, and Happy New Year.
Yeah, of course, you too.
All right.